Welcome to Football with Cheese. Okay, so it's been 3 days since I did a video. Actually, it hasn't. I've been having, let's just say it's been a disaster this week trying to record a video. The program I use to edit is just not cooperating at all. I chose it, not going to say its name. I chose it because it was the cheapest that had good reviews. I'm not a computer person. I'm really not very good editor, and so I had to learn how to do this, and I've recorded this video already 3 times. The AFC North, the first time nothing recorded, the second time it only recorded the screen, not my face, and the third time it just had my face there as a screenshot. You could hear the audio but you couldn't see me. So I'm gonna try one more time. If this fails, I'm gonna have to get a whole new program to edit these videos and take time to learn it, so it might be a few weeks before I do another video, which sucks and slows down the growth of my channel, but this has just been a disaster, and I have gone to customer service and, let's just say, not so helpful, and they keep escalating it to someone new. So let's give it a shot. I did the NFC North 3 days ago. I was hoping to have all 8 divisions done by Saturday. Today is Friday. I've done 1. And the draft was 6 days ago. My goal was to have the West done by Saturday, and I'm still on the North, which is the first division I'm doing. So as you can tell, it's been a frustrating week, and I don't have a lot of time to do these videos. And the draft recaps, they do take a lot of research, because there's players drafted like 6th, 7th round that I have not done a lot of research on. So I have to go and watch them to do a full recap. So let's hope this works. If you did not see, on Tuesday night, I was on the Sports Truth podcast. We recapped the draft. It was a lot of fun. So I'll link that in the description, so make sure you check that out. Okay, we're going to start with Baltimore. I hope this works. If not, I'll have to record another video explaining what's going on. All right, we're going to use ESPN because maybe the program doesn't like NFL.com. I don't like using ESPN, but this is a little easier because all the picks are right here. Malachi Starks, Georgia, safety. This is such a Ravensy pick. They don't mind taking defensive backs in the first round. A lot of teams will not draft safety or corners, especially if they play a lot of 2 deep, a lot of zone. But Malachi Starks, he played everywhere for Georgia. He played in the slot. He played deep safety, he played box safety. He's got great instincts, outstanding ball skills. I don't think he can cover receivers in the slot in the NFL based on his agility drills, which were not good. But I think he can play deep safety or box safety. And pairing him with Kyle Hamilton gives you one of the best safety duos in the NFL. Mike Green was their 2nd round pick, 27th pick of the 2nd round. So Mike Green is a top 15 talent, in case you did not know. He would have gone much higher if it weren't for 2 SA accusations, one in college, one in high school. So before he transferred to Marshall, he was at Virginia, and he was suspended there. And UVA wanted him to sign a 0 tolerance. I don't know if that's why he transferred, but he ends up in Marshall, where he has an amazing season. He had a great Senior Bowl. For someone who's 250 pounds, plays with a lot of power. He's so explosive. One of the best edge rushers in this draft. So this is a boom or bust pick. He could get in trouble again. He could be the steal of the draft. Emory Jones Jr. played tackle at LSU. Really struggled this past year. Needs to move into guard, despite the athleticism and the length. I thought he was more of a 4th or 5th rounder. They really needed to get a starting guard right away. To me, Teddy Buchanan was their biggest reach. I saw him more as a 6th or 7th rounder. He does not play the run well. He's undersized, but I think he can be a really good special teamer, but you can get special teamers 6th, 7th round. Carson Vincent, why not? 5th round. He's got length. He's got size. He could develop into a starting tackle, but the one game I watched of him was against Auburn, and they had his way with him. So that's the best team he played. He actually played an SEC team and really struggled. So a developmental tackle, maybe in year 3 or 4, can develop into a starter. Bihal Cohn was a great pick out of Western Michigan. He's an outstanding athlete. He's 6'1", 190, can play press man, can play zone. Really like this pick. Maybe he can develop in starter down the road. If he had gone to Ohio State or Georgia or one of those, he'd probably been a 3rd or 4th round pick. So Tyler Luke, kicker, Arizona. Basically, Justin Tucker probably not going to be back. If you want to Google the accusations against him, go for it. I'm not even sure if they'll bring in Tucker in training camp. LeJohntay Wester, Colorado, undersized, or you might have gone higher. I don't know if he's big enough to play slot in the NFL, but I'll say this about him. Colorado manufactured touches for him. Most of them were short passes and let him run after the catch, which he's outstanding at. So worth a 6th-round pick. One of the biggest steals of the draft is Aeneas Peebles here, Virginia Tech. He's 6'2", 280, defensive tackle. Can't play on early downs, can't play on rundowns. So what? Neither does Milton Williams. And he just got $26 million a year for New England. Aeneas Peebles has a great first step. He's a pass-rushing defensive tackle only, a designated interior rusher. He had a good Senior Bowl. I don't understand why he fell. Designated pass rushers are more important than ever. And I had Aeneas Peebles in my top 100. He should have gone in the 3rd round. Robert Lungerman, cornerback Rutgers. He could have gone higher too. He's about 170, 175 pounds. Ravens will take a chance on undersized corners. Most teams will not. And Garrett Dellinger, LSU. He's got a bad injury history, but he's a good athlete, so worth a 7th-round flyer. Maybe you get a starter out of him. All right, so let's go to Pittsburgh next. Maybe. Here we are. Okay, don't like when it does that. So Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon. Really good value. That's about where I saw him going. He'll fit well in Pittsburgh. Cam Hayward can't play forever, although somehow he's still playing at a high level. But Harmon was one of the best interior pass rushers in the country. I think he led the nation in pressures from the defensive tackle position. He'll fit well on their 3-4 defense. Love the value there. Caleb Johnson, I wasn't as high on him as some because he doesn't give you much in the passing game. But still, pick 83. I had him at 71 on the board. He had a tremendous season in the Big Ten. For someone who's 6'1", 224, he's more of a finesse runner. If they can get him to play with more power, this could be a steal. Jack Sawyer, 4th round. That's about where I saw him going. He didn't make my top 100 mainly because he's got short arms and he's not the best athlete, but the production is there, the effort, the character. He made the play of the game against Texas, which was a really close game in the Final Four of the playoffs. It was 21-14 Ohio State, and Texas was goal to go. They could have tied it up in the 4th quarter, and he gets a strip sack, returns it for a touchdown, 28-14. Ohio State never looked back. Then they beat Notre Dame and won the national title. Steelers have had a lot of luck with players that maybe weren't the best athlete, but high motor, high character. Yaha Black from Iowa, he's a nose tackle all the way. He's not going to give you much as far as pass rush, but he's a 330-pound run defender. Every team needs a player like that. Will Howard, Ohio State. He struggled at certain games, especially against Michigan, but played really well in the playoff. I think he can be a really good backup. He doesn't really have the starter upside. He's not really accurate enough downfield. His receivers bailed him out a lot, but I think he can be a good backup. And then Carson Bruner, Washington linebacker. Dante Kent, Central Michigan corner. All about special teams. 6th, 7th round. A lot of times people are taking linebackers, corners, safeties, tight ends, wide receivers, kickers, punters. Just filling out your roster with special teams. That's what those picks are. And you just hope maybe they can develop into starter down the line. All right, let's go with the Bengals next. Had probably one of the more underwhelming drafts. I love the Shamar Stewart pick. He's a freak athlete. Didn't do the agility drills. His biggest issue was he had trouble getting people on the ground. Didn't have the best change of direction. That's probably why he did not do the agility drills. Probably would not have gone well. The rest of the drills were outstanding. And he's an incredible run defender already. He led the team in pressures at A&M. But only 4.5 career sacks. Had trouble getting the quarterback down for a sack. But if you can unlock his potential, this could be a steal. Here's where the Bengals really disappointed is day 2. The strength of this draft was day 2. It was weak at the top, but day 2 was pretty deep, 2nd, 3rd round. And that's where you get starters. Demetrius Knight Jr., they took him in the top 50, linebacker, South Carolina. Can play middle linebacker, good run defender, not much of a blitzer. I don't think he'll be great in coverage. I just thought he was a 4th or 5th round pick, so I think that's a reach. And then Dylan Fairchild, good athlete for Georgia. They need a starting guard. I thought he was more of a 4th or 5th rounder, but he does have day 2 potential based on his athleticism. I just thought there were better players on the board at both these spots. Barrett Carter, Clemson. I think this is a good pick. He'll play weak side linebacker or special teams. The coaches rave about him at Clemson. He does overrun sometimes. He can struggle to get off blocks in the run game, but he can fly to the ball. If his workout was a little better, he probably would have gone third round. Jalen Rivers, Miami, he's listed as a guard here on ESPN. But yeah, might have to move to guard. He's a big offensive tackle. Not the best workout, not the best athlete, but could develop into a starting guard. And Taj Brooks from Texas Tech, I think he'll play a third down back role for the Bengals because he's willing to pick up the blitz and he'll catch anything you throw at him. So, unspectacular draft. I like the Shamar Stewart and Barrett Carter picks much better than the rest. And then we got Cleveland. So they had one of the more interesting drafts. The first thing they did was they traded from 2 to 5, got a second round pick, and got Jacksonville's first rounder next year. I love that move. I love adding draft capital. You do lose out in getting Travis Hunter. He could have helped them a lot. But I understand the move because I don't think Travis Hunter can play cornerback and wide receiver his whole career. I think by year 3 or 4, he's going to have to pick a position. So getting that draft capital and still getting a player like Mason Graham was a great move. Mason Graham, he's a little undersized. He's got shorter arms you'd like, but I don't care. The guy's always in the backfield. He gets off blocks. I don't think he has Hall of Fame upside like Hunter, but I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler and just a great move by Cleveland, in my opinion. And then Carson Schlesinger went the first pick of the second round. He has really good instincts, great in coverage, great blitzer. He needs to improve against the run, but I heard he could go late first round. Just as good value. Quinshon Judkins, a player I liked a lot, running back from Ohio State. He breaks tackles well. He's got good vision. He makes good cuts. He's a weapon in the red zone. And you have a running back room with Jerome Ford, Quinshon Judkins, and then in the fourth round, they got one of the steals of the draft, Dylan Sampson. I don't know why Dylan Sampson fell, the running back from Tennessee. Maybe it's the offense, because it's not a NFL-type offense. And he went against a lot of 5-6-man fronts, but he's so explosive. And that running back room is one of the best in the NFL with Ford, Judkins, and Sampson. Harold Fanning Jr., Bowling Green. I didn't have him this high. I don't know what to do with him as far as projection in the NFL. He's one of the most accomplished tight ends in NCAA history, but he played at Bowling Green, and the rumor is he played at 230 pounds. So he comes to the combine at 241, and he did not have the best workout. I assume someone who's only 6'3", 240 to run in the 4.5s, 4.6 at worst, and he ran the 4.7s. I think he has to play fullback. He can't play inline tight end. I don't really want him out wide because he probably needs to play at 230 to unlock that speed. So to me, he was a fullback only. I would have had him more in the 4th, 5th round range, but I did hear he was probably going 3rd round. And then the quarterbacks. So the Browns already have Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett on the roster. And they draft Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. If they loved Shadur Sanders, if they loved him, they would have taken him there in the 3rd round. So they like Dylan Gabriel more. And then they traded up for Sanders, probably just taking a flyer. I get it. I would not have done this because you already have 3 quarterbacks. So someone's got to go. Maybe they trade Kenny Pickett at the end of training camp. I think you have to keep Flacco because he'd be a good mentor to Gabriel and Sanders. I'm going to link my video in one of the boxes at the end on why I think Shadur Sanders fell and why I just don't think it's a good idea to even have him as a backup. So I went over that in that video, so I'm not going to go over it even more. So that is the AFC North. Let me quick pull up the consensus draft rankings. So I didn't go over this in my, where is it? NFC North video, like exactly the rankings. So quickly, NFC North, Chicago was 19th. Basically what this ranking is, this guy named Renee, his last name starts with a B. I can never remember his name. He takes all the grades from all the draft analysts on TV and the popular websites, puts them together, and makes a consensus draft ranking, 1 through 32. So the NFC North, Bears were 19th, Packers 25th, Vikings 29, Lions 30. I would have had the Vikings higher based on who they picked, but because they only had 5 picks is probably why they fell. I think it's about right with Detroit. I think they had one of the worst drafts. Green Bay, same, 25th. Bears, yeah, that's about where I saw. Consensus does not think the NFC North did so good in this draft. It's a good thing to look at. I don't like grading drafts because you don't know. 3 or 4 years down the line, I didn't like the Lions or Packers draft, but they could have the best drafts in 3 years. They could both have Super Bowls because of this draft. You never know. So what I'm going to do, I think, this summer is go back and look at grades from 2021 and regrade them and see what people got right, what people got wrong, and where I see the drafts. Because you need to go back at least 3 or 4 years. And the AFC North, Baltimore was 8th. That's about where I would have had them. Baltimore always sits there in day 3 and takes players that fell. Maybe they're a little undersized. Maybe they ran a 4.55 instead of 4.48, something like that. Maybe the 3-cone wasn't good, but the rest of them were. And that's why Baltimore almost always has a deep roster. Cleveland was 9th. Yeah, I might have had them a little higher. I didn't love the Stur Sanders pick, but, 5th round, worth a shot. The fact that they got that draft capital and Jacksonville's pick, you never know. That could be a top 10 pick. So basically the Browns could have 2 top 10 picks, and they could use them to move up for a quarterback if Gabriel and Sanders don't work out. And then, where is Pittsburgh? I can't find them. 16th. Okay. Yeah, they didn't have a second-round pick in the DK Metcalf trade, so that could hurt them a little bit. I probably have them a little higher than that. And Bengals are dead last, 32. Yeah, I get it. Underwhelming draft. I did like the Jamar Stewart and Barrett Carter pick. Their defense is better after this draft, but how much better, I'm not sure. They got a couple D-minuses. Ouch. All right. I hope this worked. Say a prayer for me. Next up, I'm going to do the East. We'll do NFC East and then AFC East. I'm going to try to get those out today. Wish me luck. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed and turn the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. Like this video. Likes help so much. Comment down below which AFC North team did the best, which one did the worst. Share this video with anyone who loves football. We can grow the channel. Check these videos out if you have not. One is Stur Sanders, why he fell. The other is going over the drafts of the NFC North. And I will see you guys in the next video.